Hello, good evening. This is Charity Wari Ngugi-Latz, and I'm talking to you all the way from Germany. It's midnight, but I have just come from a very interesting Zoom meeting, and we were spoken to by one of the most powerful people still alive on this earth, the legendary Professor Ngugi-Latz, and he taught us so much. You can check on the Facebook page, on my Facebook post, and you can be able to see a recording of that talk, that conference. It was 2 hours. It was powerful. It was good. You'll feel liberated. You learn things about yourself that you do not know. Now, I've labeled this liberation from domestic violence because I was pondering just now and I was thinking, what actually liberated me from domestic violence? And I realized it's a very simple thing. It was just realizing what is domestic violence. Domestic violence is all about power and control. We have talked that enormously. It's about power and control. And the other time I was giving a talk about racism, which is also about power and control. And I just wondered, how do these abusers get that power and control? Do you know, funny enough, we give it to them. We actually hand it to them on a plate. Consistently, they show us. They don't care. Consistently, they show us they're abusers. Consistently, and in a very, very direct manner. In fact, there reaches a point when they no longer are manipulating you. They're directly showing you that I hate you. I'm going to use you. You're my property. And all that kind of thing. And it is just, they use an oppressive language. They abuse you verbally. They molest you psychologically. They molest you physically. And you still stick there saying you don't know what to do. Have you just thought about it? You don't know what to do. That, my dear friend, is called denial. And one of the best ways to liberate yourself out of a domestic violent relationship is to come out of the denial. And how do you come out of the denial? By looking at yourself in the mirror. Not in a self-pity way, saying to hell with this rubbish. I want to know you I'm looking at. Who are you? Know who you are. Do you know, even the Bible, Jesus kept on saying, know the truth for yourself. Know who you are. And the truth of the matter is that you're a powerful person. You're a unique person. That abuser wouldn't be with you if you're not a powerful person. No abuser likes a weak person. They like powerful people. They like people they will gain something out of them. They like people who will hand them something over. They do not like somebody who's coming in empty. They're not going to take, if that was the case, then they would go and collect a beggar on the street. They do not. They collect people who are able. They destroy people who are able, from powerful to powerless. And they take all that, your power, and take it to themselves. Now, how do you get out of that way? I'm going to give you a tip, but before all that, I would really love it if you could go to my website. That is unmasking-domesticviolence.org. www.unmasking-domesticviolence.org, because there you'll see all the red signs. And once you see all the red signs, you'll definitely see some signs that you fall into. And these signs are all the same. It's all about power and control. If there's one thing that you need to think about, is power and control. Why don't you take a day just to observe, just the same way they observe you, to know when to hit and to know when to clutch you and to know when to release a little bit and to know when to calm down a bit when they realize that you're waking up, and then they bring you back in that cycle. Why don't you take a day just to study them? And you'll see it's all about power and control. The fight always begins where there's something you are refusing to give into, or you are questioning them. And they don't like the question for the simple fact because you're talking something very that is making them realize that you know. They don't like being told they are wrong. They don't like being told the reality, the truth. So instead of talking to them, instead of arguing with them, some people say if you argue with a fool, nobody will know the difference. Instead of arguing with them, why don't you take time to observe them and write down exactly what you have observed about them? And really, when you really can give a good look at them right directly in the eye, you realize they are nothing but rubbish. All those things they call you is what they really are on the inside. And that's when you come out of denial. And then when you come out of denial, let me tell you something. You've got to take one drastic step so that you can be ahead of them. You've got to accept that you are now in danger. This is an enemy. Stop giving them any excuses. I don't know what happened to them. I think because they lost a job, because of this COVID, because they're not feeling well, he was just jealous. Stop giving them the excuse. They don't care about you. When they finish you and you're no longer worthy, they'll go to somebody else and they leave you in the dump. So before they can do all that to you, why don't you be clever enough and accept that I'm no longer going to stay in this situation and I'm going to take care of me. And the best way of taking care of you is by talking about it. And now open up. Even your friends will be so shocked that you're finally accepting to say the truth. And they tell you, we wanted to tell you, but we didn't know how. You'll get help. The thing they always tell you that nobody cares about you, that's a lie. Lie number one. People do care, but people don't know how to interfere. Most people actually don't know how to deal with domestic violence situations. Out of 10 people you tell, 5 might gossip about you, but one somewhere will give you some help. And I can advise you, why don't you come to them? Click on to Survivor's Sanctuary. This is the Sanctuary of Survival, Sanctuary of Survival. You'll find it under this stream. I'll write it down for you. Click there. That's a closed group. And I can give you more advice. And now, good night. And I hope you're better. Be stronger and be better. Yes, I lose my breath a lot. And that is okay. It's something I accept. But I just had to tell you this night, okay? Bye-bye.